So I initially joined the hockey club to make friends because when you start off as a fresher, one of the main tasks you have is to make a lot of friends, and uni sport is such a good way to do that. And so I liked hockey, so it was kind of not quite an easy choice for me. The second reason was at the welcome fair. I spoke to some of the people running the stall, just about how how much balance there was and how much of a commitment joining the club was. Because I was worried because I obviously studied quite a hard course in engineering that took up a lot of hours, but also wanted to join other societies because going around the welcome fair, there are lots of interesting societies to get involved in. And the person I spoke to was part of two other societies, actually had a position in one of them, and studied also engineering. And just to hear that, and the fact that he could balance that, balance being part of the club with all of those things, and still, be prominent in all of the things that he did. It was great to hear, and it was a huge factor, and also why I joined it because I didn't want to be tied into training 5 times a week, and having to dedicate most of my time to just one club, but whilst in that club still having a good time. And I think the men's hockey club at UCL encapsulates that really well. So one of the main preconceptions I had about uni sport in general was that it's almost impossible for freshers to get into the top teams, i.e., in this case, the first team. And I considered myself a decent hockey player, but I had never thought, I could get into the first team. And I think the good thing about it that was really good with UCL Men's Hockey Club is that there wasn't really a trials, and there wasn't really a trials and then all the teams were based off that. Um, and there was like quite a few Monday training sessions before the game started, and so you could actually there's more opportunity to show off your ability essentially. And even if you don't get into whatever team you want to straight away, there's lots of movement between teams. It's not as if, okay, you're in one team and this is the rest of the year you're in this team. And I think that was one of the main things that was nice to see about this club. um, the second was, oh yeah, so the second was, I thought there'd be like a divide between freshers and the olders, um, just because I just heard that the older members of the club usually uh, stick together, and the freshers just stick together, and there's not much mixing. But that was not true. I mean, at the very very start, because the freshers have more in common because they're all starting new. They tend to stick together, but during the year, the number of socials, the just the inclusive environment of the club meant that that wasn't true either. So, yeah. I'd say my best experience is definitely varsity. I talked a bit about it in another video, but very briefly, so I can talk about it a bit more now. So varsity is essentially again the rival game between UCL and Kings for both, and the women's both play a game and the men's both have a game. And so the game is a big deal, and there's a lot of people watching because the men's club come to watch, the women's club come to watch, for both teams, and you also have friends, family. So there's easily 200 plus people coming to watch, and it's basically an all day event. You meet up with if you're part of the team, you meet up with your team. Just try and just talk and be more comfortable about the game, because obviously there's lots of people watching, there's lots of pressure. And if you're not involved in the team, you're part of the watch party, and they will meet up and start having essentially a social day from about three onwards. And so the games are in the evening, and yeah, and we managed to win the game 3-0 and beat Kings. And so it was amazing. Just the whole day was so good, and it's quite hard to describe until you see it. But it was a great day. My worst experience as part of the club. Wouldn't say there's worst experience. I say most embarrassing moment. For any freshers who are listening to this, don't do this. So we had our first game at Lee Valley against LSE, and I live not my uni house, but my parents live 10 minutes from my from Lee Valley, and so my mum picked me up from my first ever hockey game for the first 11 for UCL, and you know the whole point of the hockey is that you can go home, but the whole point is that you have the game, but then afterwards everyone has a social, everyone has fun, and you know this kind of a team bonding kind of thing, and my mum picked me up after the game, and I have not lived that down since that happened. So yeah, that was probably my most embarrassing moment. But yeah. So there were lots of events that happened throughout the year, but I'd say the main ones first began with Freshers' Day. So at the start of the year, when all the freshers that are interested in joining the club or want to join the club, we all get a bus down to our home pitch at Barnesbridge, and it's good fun just to meet everybody else who wants to join the club and meet some of the older people. And then what happens is the freshers just arrive, get changed, and we play, do some drills and stuff, and the elders go around and just see what sort of talents they have to work with this year. And then afterwards everyone showers and gets changed, and we everyone has drinks in the bar in the clubhouse, and it's nice. I thought it was a really good day because it's just you get to meet all the freshers, you get to meet the old people, you get to just see how the club kind of works, so that was good. And then there's also the Christmas ball. So in Christmas there's a ball, and obviously the Freshers' Day and this Christmas ball will be subject to COVID regulations this year, and I'm sure whatever the situation, the committee will come up with cool and fun events that will comply with the guidelines. So, but I'll just continue talking about the events to give you an idea of what happened last year. So yeah, we have the Christmas ball, which is mixed with the women's club, and that's great fun. Honestly, it's really good fun, and yeah, there's not really much to say. It's basically a ball, but where you have a 3-course meal, and you, if you do drink, you drink a lot of alcohol. So yeah, and then what was next? We had a mixed tournament for Pride Week, where we were mixed into a girls' team, and different colours just represent your colour. Each colour was like a team, and we had like a tournament, and it was really great, raised great awareness for kind of pride and stuff. And then we finally have varsity, which I talked about in my last question, which is really also a lot of fun. So yeah, those were sorts of events that happened last year. This year, obviously, there might be more sort of online, socially distanced maybe events, but I'm definitely sure they will be a lot of fun too. So the simple answer is no. You don't have to drink alcohol as part of the society. One of my friends was a PhD student, and he was Muslim, so he used to come to socials and not drink. And just in general, to be honest, like some people would be on antibiotics or have a big essay due the next morning, and just said, "Oh, I'm not drinking today," and everyone still has a great time and is in no way, anywhere near any pressure or compulsory to drink. And I think that's how it should be, for all clubs, but it's definitely the case with the men's hockey club.